One of my favorite prospecting strategies is called the itch cycle. Now let me explain what the itch cycle is. We tie it in with the word itch, meaning, again, the average American, if ever they own a product or service and it starts getting old or they have a need for a new one, they start itching for it. And the challenge I find with so many salespeople is they don't keep in touch with clients that own their product that would be so ready for a new product. It'd be almost like, for example, you could do this with even a home, which I did when I was in the real estate business. I knew the average home in my area, average, turned over every 4 years. So we would call that our real estate itch cycle for this community. You can do this with vehicles, you can do this with communication systems, any product or service that because of age or use they must replace, you establish their itch cycle. About how long do people use this product before there is an itch to get a new one? Well, I of course kept in touch with my clients. If a person purchased a home from me, they'd hear from me at least 4 times a year. They would of course get their holiday cards from me. I would try my best to get the birth dates of all the family. They get my birthday cards. So it wasn't like they moved in and I said goodbye and that was the end of it. I became a part of their life through follow-up. Now I watched them, and of course about 6 months prior to the itch cycle, I would call and visit and come and hopefully go by in person. Then 60 days before the itch cycle, if it's a 4-year itch cycle, I'm going to contact them in 60 days prior to that 4-year period of them owning it. Then, of course, I will go in person and just start discussing with them the possibility of taking their equity and maybe looking to move into a larger home. Now, it was amazing. Just because they'd been there almost 4 years, many of them were open to at least looking around, and that's how the itch cycle starts. I had women say to me, all right, we can just go out and we'll look. I'm really happy here, Tom. And I'd say, well, you know, the best time to consider change is when you're happy, not when you're unhappy. So why don't we just explore together? Why don't we just look around? And of course, I'd get them out looking, and what happens? Suddenly they see something and they start to what? Itch for a new home. Now that's called creating the itch cycle. And I shame on any salesperson that has these wonderful people that like and trust them that they don't keep in touch with and they don't help when the itch cycle starts. I think the biggest pain you'll ever feel is when 2 or 3 years after they've owned a product, you find out they purchased your type of product from another company. That would kill me. That would just upset me so much. That's why you not only follow up, keep in touch, but make sure you start contacting them and begin that process of the itch cycle 60 days before the average itch cycle for your product or service. A perfect way of building up this follow-up system would be, as soon as you close a transaction, build into your contact management software all the dates of follow-up. And if it's a contact 60 days prior to them having the itch cycle, that will be in your system. You won't have to think about it. It's a wonderful way to be organized and take advantage of technology to build in this itch cycle follow-up system, okay?